It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And up next are the Texans' veteran running back. He was steady for them on the ground a week ago, reaching the century mark and adding a score. It's the Texans and the Jaguars. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. We welcome everybody again alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin and CD. We've got an interesting test here today. One of the league's best passing games and one of the best pass defenses set to square up and see who can perform better in a high-profile matchup.
And you and I talk about all the time how fortunate we are to be in this position, to be around these types of games. And as jacked up as these fans are, how about these two?
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here, so he'll get this up to the 29. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted #1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
First play and a first pass for Murray. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Jacoby Myers, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Well, CD, you see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and these guys, they've been hearing the mantra next man up since their Friday night light games in high school. It's 3 simple words, but they're absolutely perfect to use, and everyone has adopted them. Next guy up, do your best.
Murray now to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
On 1st down, Thomas. He'll check this down to Hines. From the 35 on 2nd down, Thomas. The numbers for him from a week ago, 5 catches, 56 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's Thomas. The Texans at 4-3, a game over 500. They come in losers of 2 straight, so try to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like...
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. And just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. They start on the ground with Elliott. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 17 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Murray to throw on 3rd and 1. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Had some good yardage there, too, before he fumbled that football, Charles.
Yeah, just think about it this way. Running backs, as a general rule, they kind of know when the end of a run is near, and you notice how they cover up, right? They protect the football. Sometimes quarterbacks forget that out in the open field. After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with this. We can protect this and make sure we keep the ball.
Thomas, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Gets the dump off to Pierce. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Throwing again on 2nd down. Thomas. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Jaguars are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Partner, I think this will win a ride very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. After the turnover, here's Murray. Getting this into the hands of Eric Dickerson. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Play fake. Murray. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Play action. Now it's Murray. Got his man, and it's a fumble, and the Texans scoop it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Thomas. And he whips that one incomplete there. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Thomas. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. Terry McLaurin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, got a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
Murray. And his throw is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, Murray. And that is incomplete. Now is the punter, Jordan Stout. Taking on the midfield logo. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So here are the Texans to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Now Thomas on 3rd down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it. He is able to keep the feet in bounds. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will extend their lead even further. So just enough juice to get the 3, and I think that wind at the back helped a little bit there.
Certainly did, and to me that tells me that head coach knows his kicker and realized the wind was at his back. That was probably the outer limits of what he could make, and he knew the wind might be able to aid him and get that ball over the crossbar, and it did.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. On play action, it's Murray. He'll buy some, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
Come on, baby, get low.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now Murray. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Texans will take over. And we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34. We'll keep you updated on that as well as others as we move toward the midway point. Hard to believe we're already there in this NFL season. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Here's Thomas to throw on 3rd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
First and 10, it's Pierce. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Thomas. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. On 3rd down, Thomas slings this deep from McLaurin. It got his man complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And boy, that was something to watch, wasn't it? How about the way these guys came out here in the first quarter?
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Murray now on 1st down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Shotgun now from Murray. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. K'Lavon Chaisson, the former first-rounder, in there to get the sack. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense taking over again. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Here's Hines. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Pierce takes it straight. Now the ball comes loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Pierce now up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Caught by Jones. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
What's the deal? Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They run with Hines. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give to Pierce. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Thomas. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Zay Jones. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Murray now on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Logan Wilson.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, a next-gen stat says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 45-yard line.
Back to the running game with Swift.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Here's Murray. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. They'll run it with Elliott. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. Ezekiel Elliott not able to get it past the marker. And this Texans defense stands tall.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Following that fumble recovery, it's Murray.
Very quick throw. He's got Myers. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Murray now.
And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, They're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Here's Murray. Flush to his right. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
The kick by Sanders is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get 1 play before the 2-minute warning.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the half. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Micah Parsons able to record his 5th sack of the season.
If you rank 1 from the bottom in statistics, that's usually not good in this league. And this team, 1 from the bottom in sacks, but somehow they've got 3 in this game. What's going on?
I know, they're 31-32. They better be careful, or they're going to be top 30 in the league. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Thomas. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And now out come the Jags. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Dancing to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Murray going to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime.
Thomas now throwing to start the drive.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Thomas.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Looking to throw. Thomas.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with great starting field position and 1 timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down. Throwing now is Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
To throw, it's Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Following the fumble recovery, Thomas. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. On 1st down, Thomas. Open man here is Conklin. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach. And well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Texans getting ready to go here to begin the 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Thomas, this complete to Jones. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Thomas. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Murray. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the 1st.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Texans offense set to regain possession. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Thomas. Open man is Quintez Cephas. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. Back to throw again. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw.
He completes it to Jones.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Now a handoff for Pierce. And he's got it to about the 40.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Thomas. Over the middle, complete. It's Roth.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. A run for Pierce out of the gun.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the delay, here's Hines. And not much running room. Down to the 32. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Looking to throw. Thomas. Man open, here is Jones. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
Here's Pierce. Is into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. But just power football there. Down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it was Dameon Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run. This will be fielded inside the 5.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd down, Swift.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Murray now to throw. He's going to air one out. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
All right, just call the call. We're going to play it. Come on now.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Murray. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They run out of the gun with Swift.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
Murray with a 3rd and long. And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 37. Sanders' kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Draw play. This is Hines. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Pierce. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. 1st down, they go right back to Pierce, down to about the 45. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he fires one incomplete. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Thomas. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle 3rd of the field, and that brings up 4th.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to, but when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. 6 yards left on 2nd down. Again, it's Elliott. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. Now Murray. And that is incomplete.
Those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Throwing to start the drive, Thomas. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First and 10, it's Pierce to the 27-yard line. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. Down right around the 25.
Holding offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Back to throw. Thomas. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 75 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. And they'll go right back to Pierce. And they'll get him down right about the 20. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Going for it with Pierce. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. This a 31-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Murray now. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I've thought late game, down on the scoreboard, Had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Here's Murray. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Now Murray's got to have this one. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Jags come up empty on fourth down. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game. They
run with Hines. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Pierce now up the middle.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. To throw is Thomas. From the gun on third down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Micah Parsons
getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will stay a 3-score game at 24. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Well, the Jaguars getting set to go.
Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Batted at the line, but he still brought it in.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Murray. He finds his tight end Goddard. That's complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Murray going to throw. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Texans say they have it. They do. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14.
Pierce will try to pick it up.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray.
And he'll go underneath here to Elliott. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
To throw again on 2nd down. Murray. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Now Murray again. And the throw there going to be incomplete. They're going for it. Hits Murray. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard.
And he is going to have the Jaguars 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing now is Murray. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Murray sets to throw on 4th. And oh, it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Texans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Texans,
the victory means they'll up their mark to 5-3 on the year.
And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.